Imagine, if you will, a new leader who comes to your community. When I say new, I mean green. Unaware of the culture, the rules, the hierarchy, the expectations. They're not always sure of how to get to certain places, let alone whether they're supposed to actually be there. Filled with an energetic enthusiasm to get things done, this person in this new leadership role may well be prone to errors and missteps along the way. Using this scenario, it would be easy to picture the panic of Zoom transportation. The new bus company that managed to make a mess of school transportation over the last few weeks. Bus drivers struggled to find their routes, aiming to navigate their way around Howard County, but misunderstanding the routes for pickup and drop-off. Similarly, hearing this, you might have even thought that I was describing my narrative. New to the full-time rabbinic role, I misnavigated my own route by driving 80 miles in the wrong direction for a stop on the ice cream trail. Both I and the bus drivers were enthusiastic and yet misguided. So too, perhaps, were Abraham and Isaac in today's Torah reading of the Akedah. Abraham is often heralded as an exemplar of zerizut, one who is quick to act when delivering on expectations. Vayeshkem Avraham baboker. Abraham arose early in the morning, ready to take on the task of sacrificing his beloved son Isaac. Unsure of the route, God states that Abraham will be heading Sham, le'olah alachad heharim asher omar elecha, there on the top of one of those mountains that I'm going to tell you about. And Abraham goes upon his way. I'd like to put a side note here. I would absolutely get lost with those directions. And my 80 miles is nothing compared to the 3 days that it took Abraham to go a very short distance. The command and the directions defied comprehension. But here in this moment, Abraham displayed unwavering obedience. Enthusiasm, 10. Potential for error, highly likely. Even as we admire Abraham's alacrity, we must also acknowledge that despite his fervor for faithful task completion, Abraham momentarily overlooked the importance of seeking clarity and understanding. Rabbinic Midrash seeks to comfort us that Abraham did indeed grapple, question, and challenge the weight of this command, seeking reassurance from God that he truly understood the actual instruction. Our Midrashic tale explains that God was only trying to tell Abraham to lift Isaac up, not to slaughter him. The word le'olah, you see, can mean either to lift up or to sacrifice, which, as I said to Rabbi Axler, might make one more cautious about accepting aliyot in the future. So here we come to new leadership lesson number 1. Vague expectations lead to vague and even disastrous results. Leadership, even in its earliest stages, requires the wisdom to discern when to seek clarification and when to simply forge ahead. Isaac's enthusiastic willingness to serve also becomes central to the astonishing acts of the Akedah. Isaac willingly carries the wood, willingly, for his own sacrifice on his back. While he does question the outcome of their team effort, here are the firestone and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering? He seems to fully accept Abraham's answer of, God will see to the sheep for the burnt offering, my son. New leadership lesson number 2. Be wary of missing commas and syntax. Was Abraham saying that God would take care of finding a sheep? Or was he saying, God will see to the sheep for the burnt offering, comma, my son. Regardless of grammar, Isaac's deference to and trust in his father's leadership could be seen as commendable. The Midrash aims again to correct Isaac's silent submission, explaining that Isaac asked questions about his mother's grieving, about his father's reputation, about his own fear, at one point even begging Abraham to bind him so he wouldn't fight back. But when all is said and done, the rabbis find a way to connect father and son in the Torah. Vayalchu shneichem yachdav, that the two walked off together in lockstep agreement about, how Isaac would be sacrificed. New leadership lesson number 3. Voice your concerns, acknowledge your doubts, and then decide together with your team the best course of action. Our rabbis have never been shy when it's come to leadership lessons. Pirkei Avot teaches us to lead by looking for perspectives outside ourselves. Who is wise? One who learns from everyone. The Talmud delves into the ethical implications of Abraham's actions, reminding us that leadership means engaging in thoughtful, moral deliberation. Both Abraham and Isaac brought their unique insights, experiences, and perspectives that enrich their spiritual journeys. And still, at the end of the day, Vayalchu shneichem yachdav, they walked together. Full of energy and enthusiasm, I am honored to walk with you as your new assistant rabbi, eager to contribute to the growth and vitality of this congregation. Realistically, I'm also aware that I will most likely misstep. And I look to my fellow staff members, clergy, congregants, and colleagues for wisdom, discernment, patience, and the courage to question when needed. I hope that together, in the spirit and courage of Abraham and of Isaac, we'll be able to navigate new paths together, embracing the wisdom that arises from acknowledging our own limitations and leaning on each other's strengths. I gratefully look forward to learning with and from you in this new leadership role. It's a new year. The lessons have just begun. May the year and the learning be both good and sweet. Shana Tova Umitsuka.